Hare Krishna, good morning. Om Ajnana Timrandasya Jnanjala Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswata Devi Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskatyai Desatarne Srila Prabhupada ki. So, welcome everyone to the Bhakta Class. Bhakta Class is meant to explain the basic practices of Krishna consciousness. Last time we discussed the importance of the morning program. Whether you are in the temple or at home, you should have every day a morning program and sing all the songs. If there are no deities, you chant them before a picture of Krishna or Lord Chaitanya and the Guru Parampara. Before attending the morning program, you have to take a bath, shower, be clean, put tilak on 12 places of the body, and dress in new washed clothes every day, and then attend Mangal Arti. We will hear many more details about this morning program, but essentially is also that you hear the scriptures every day. You can hear every day a half-hour class of Srila Prabhupada. They are on YouTube, all these classes, or there are other internet facilities which provide classes every day of Srila Prabhupada, especially hear from Srila Prabhupada every day. That even if we go to the temple and we hear a class, it's good also to hear a class of Srila Prabhupada every day. And chant your rounds every morning. Guru Puja is essential. We should all every day beg for the mercy of the spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada, because that is where the mercy comes from. Now, in this section, we will start with discussing the evening program and also many temple rules. During the evening program is called Kaur Arti. It's Sandhya Arti. It's normally done when the sun sets. And it's a glorification of Lord Chaitanya and his associates. We sing this song. We don't add anything to this song. Many add the word bhaja or something that you cannot do. The only addition is kiba. That's allowed. So we sing Kiba Jaya Jaya Kaura Chander Arotika Soba Jana Vita Tavane Jagamano Loba. We repeat that 2 times and then go to the next. That refrain is not sung at the beginning but only at the end. So after the first lines, we come to Kibadaki Nenitai Chant Bameka Dadara Nikate Advaita Shini Chatrava Vasachatradara Vasya Gaura Chant Ratna Singasane Arati Korena Brahma Adi Devagana Narahari Adi Kori Chamaradulaya Sanyaya Mukunda Vasu Gosadigaya. So you repeat every strophe twice. And then Sanka Bhajaganta Bhaje Bhaje Karataba Madhura Mridanga Bhaje Paramarasala. And then you start with the refrain, the second refrain. Sanka Bhaje Ganta Bhaje Madhu 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 Bhaje Sanka Bhaje Ganta Bhaje Madhu 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 Bhaje Madhu 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 Bhaje Nitai Gora Haribon 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 Nitai Gora Haribon. And then it becomes silent for a few seconds and then you continue. Bahu Koti Chandrajini Vadana Uchvada Kala Deshivana Mala Kore Jalamala Shiva Sukhanarada Preme Gada Gada Bhakati Vinota Deke Gora Sampada. And then you start over again, but you repeat only once. Kiba Jaya Jaya Gora Chander Arotika Soba Jana Vitata Vani Charamanaloba. And then you sing for the first time this refrain. Gaurangera roti soba, jaga janamano loba. Gaurangera roti soba, jaga janamano loba. Jaga janamano loba, jaga janamano loba. Nitai gaura haribon, haribon. Haribon, Nitai gaura haribon. And then you continue with Prabhupada's Prana mantra. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskachai Dasatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So twice you go down. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. That you do twice. That Prabhupada sung it differently. He said Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Those are Prabhupada sang it. That I sing it again. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Then you go higher. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the second line also, Hare Krishna, you go down with the tune. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then you go up the third time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's the same thing should be done at the morning program at the Govastakam. After Samsara Dharana Lila Loka, you chant this in this way. The Panchatatma mantra two times down and then up. And then the Hare Krishna mantra 2 times down, then up. But the evening program is sometimes sung also in another tune. And that is fine. That is fine. But I like to stick with Prabhupada gave, but you can also the song Kiba Jaya Jaya Gaurachandra Aratika Soma, this Sandhya Arti song, this song is sometimes also sung in another tune, and that's all right. But the principles are there. Now this we go to the next chapter 3, Temple Basics. I'm going to explain a few things which are many times misunderstood. Basic rules and regulations. No, eating meat, fish or eggs, garlic and onions should be avoided. So the thing here is, if we buy things in stores, food, there are so many additional things in that emulsifiers, or you have so many additions. These additions are many times not vegetarian. There's an A330 or whatever, all these additives, many times they are nicely described, but they may contain these things. It means if you buy them and you use them, you break the regulative principles. Therefore, I will come back to that. Then no intoxication, including alcohol, marijuana, tobacco, caffeine, or other drugs. We have to be careful if we are eating too many sweets, that's like taking alcohol. We have to be careful with that as devotees. No gambling or mental speculation regarding the philosophy, yeah. No illicit sex. Definition of illicit sex is very clear. Only sex for procreation of children. So, sex within marriage can also be illicit. Be careful with that. So, therefore, if you consider all this, We should not be puffed up and telling, I'm following the four regulative principles. It's better to be humble and say, I'm trying to follow these four regulative principles. Because material energy is very strong. And we should be honest with each other. So it is said here, because I found it on the internet, not that I agree with all what is said here, but I will give my comments. Devotees living on temple property are required to attend a full morning program. There I disagree. Whether you are living in the temple or not, you should attend the full morning program. That's the duty of a devotee. Whether at home or in the temple, it should be the same program. That's what Prabhupada said. You live outside the temple, you have the same program, nothing different. So temple devotees are required to chant at least 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna mantra on japa beads and follow the instruction of the temple president and other temple authorities. Okay. Temple room. One should offer obeisance to Srila Prabhupada and the deities when entering and leaving the temple room. When you come into the temple room, you have the bell, you ring the bell, and you offer your respects with your two hands on the ground. Not with one hand and in the other your bead bag. No. Two hands on the floor. Otherwise, Nectar of Devotion says that's offensive. And when we offer obeisances, we say the name of the deities. And after coming in the temple, you go straight to Prabhupada, not to the deities. Prabhupada first. You offer your dandavats to Prabhupada and you say the pranam mantra loudly. It's not a meditation. Loudly, Nectar of Devotion says. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswata Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskachai Desatani. Now, next set, while sitting, the legs, feet should always be covered. Feet should never turn towards the deities, Srila Prabhupada or Tulsi Devi. So that is about the feet. But we should never.
What a question. Inderveer, please mute yourself. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So when you are in the temple, I was just saying, you come in the temple, offering obeisances, saying with two hands, saying the names of the deities, then go up to Prabhupada, to the deity. The deity, Prabhupada should at your left side. And you offer respects, dandavats. The dandavats for women and men are different. For men, it's full dandavats, but the women, they kneel down. And that's the prescription, how we do it. And we chant Prabhupada's pranam mantra loudly. And then after that, you go to the deities. And also the deities, even if the curtain is closed, they are at your left side and you offer dandavats to the deities. Also, saying first you say the pranam mantra of your spiritual master, then the pranam mantra of Prabhupada, and then you offer your respects to the deities. If it's Gaurnitai, you say the mantra, Nama Ma Vadanya Krishna Prema Padaite Krishnaya Krishna Sitaya Nama Gaurit Visenama. If it's Radha Krishna, then you say Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanaitai Sacharditai Krishnaya Govinyanama. and then you stand up. That's how you come into the temple. But then, so one should offer obeisances. When you sit down, your legs should be covered. That's right. A few details. Never sit with your back to the deities. Never sit with your back to Prabhupada. Never sit with your back to Tulsi Devi. That is offensive. If someone gives a lecture and sit on the Vyasa, everyone else should be lower. It's a Vedic instruction. You cannot learn anything if you are on the sit on the same level as the person who gives a lecture. Therefore, I remember that when Vishnu Goswami, the old Gujarati Swami, he was already nearly 80 years old, but he would always insist, I'm sitting on the floor, on a mat. You sit on a mat on the floor. That he didn't even want to sit on the wheels. But he insisted. But when my Guru Maharaj met Prabhupada the first time, that was in a train from Allahabad to Mathura. And he had never met Prabhupada personally. And Bhavananda Maharaj said to Bhakti Charu, he was a Bhakta at that time, do you want to meet Prabhupada? And they went to Prabhupada. It was a compartment, and at one side were two sannyasis, was Tamal Krishna Maharaj and someone else, and Prabhupada was sitting at the other side. And then Bhavananda pushed him in the compartment, and he fell before Prabhupada. He offered his dandavats to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, you come here, you sit just beside me. And he didn't want to do that. And he did not do that. He didn't want to sit on the same level as Prabhupada. Of course, if we are not well and you cannot sit cross-legged, you can sit on a chair, but always at the back of the temple. Always at the back of the temple. That's all right. But of course, one's legs and feet should always be covered. The temple room is meant for devotional activities, hearing, chanting, reading, praying, etc. One must be respectful to the deities and not commit offenses before them. For further rules in this regard, read Nectar of Devotion, page 6872. Well, I don't know what edition it is. It may on different pages, but in Nectar of Devotion, 64 items of devotional service are explained. And therein there is a chapter that deals with offenses. That if you read this carefully, that is wanted. That I explained a few things, principles from there already. Now, bathroom. Don't apply tilak in the bathroom. It is sacred and should be applied outside the bathroom. Sometimes because people have in their house a shower and the toilet is somewhere else. So they think, okay, the shower is fine. I can put my tilak up here. No. The answer is no. Even in that. Not in the bathroom. That should be done outside the bathroom. It is sacred and should be applied outside the bathroom. Also, don't take Harinam shudders, books, or other sacred articles to the toilet or bathroom. Harinam shudders. When I got second initiation, I was wearing a Harinam shuddar, and when I was called to the room to receive the Gayatri mantra from my spiritual master, instructed me never wear a Harinam chadar, because you sit on it, that it's not proper. Don't wear it, he said. Prabhupada never did it, and Prabhupada told him never to do. So he told me also, never wear Harinam chadar, because the holy name is on it. Holy name, the chadar you can use to cover the deities or the books, but we don't wear Harinam chadar. That is what my Guru Maharaj told me, Bhakti Charamaj. So we cannot take these things to the toilet. We cannot take our bead bag into the toilet. Shower should be taken in the morning after a long rest, Harinam or passing stool. Every time passing stool, take a shower. Make that a point of cleanliness. Cutting of nails, brushing teeth, shaving should always be done before taking a shower, not after. Shower should be cool as not to waste hot water. Cool means, you can take a bath with warm water, but at the end it's best to make it cool. That's also good for your health and for being awake. It makes a difference in your consciousness for the entire day. So general living rooms, bed and sheets should be put away right after getting up. Sheets should be washed as often as possible. We have to be practical in that, but yes. Clothes should never lay around, but properly hung or folded. So spiritual life means I'm orderly. There must be order. If externally we don't have order, internally we cannot have orderly thoughts. We cannot be clean internally when we are outside, externally dirty. Dirty laundry should be kept in a bag or basket, not thrown in a drawer or put with clean clothes. That's certainly not. That will contaminate clean clothes. All rooms should have their own cleaning paraphernalia. It means you have cleaning paraphernalia for the bathroom. You don't use that in the living room. So that's what's meant here. You have cleaning paraphernalia used only for the kitchen. And sometimes you have also kitchen shoes, only in the kitchen. Of course, in most modern houses, it's all mixed up today. It's difficult to do that. All rooms should have their own cleaning paraphernalia. Trash cans should be emptied daily and disinfected regularly. Because it's rotting, it should be cleansed every day. That all rooms, drawers, cabinets, closets, etc. should be in order at all times. Prasadam should not be eaten or taken in the ashram. So normally prasadam we take in the prasadam room, not into the ashram. We don't also keep prasadam in the ashram for later. That's again against devotional principles. Let's see further. Kitchen standards, and that's the whole thing. And that's important. We are all cooking in the temple for Srila Prabhupada. And so Prabhupada said many times, kitchen is like a surgery theater. Everything should be very clean. That while you are using certain pots, and the cooking is done, immediately clean the pots while you are preparing other things. Clean it constantly. That always wear clean Vaishnava clothing and tilak when cooking. So before cooking for Krishna, we take a shower, clean clothes, and then we are going to cook. Then we are ready. Wash hands and mouth after eating and before entering the kitchen. Hands and mouth after eating. That, yes, that is good also to brush your teeth always after eating. It will be good for your health to do that after each meal. Because so many things remain in the mouth, in little holes and things, that it will give you also a feeling of cleanliness, that if you brush your teeth after eating and wash your hands, and that also in the morning, because at night some dirty things are forming on the tongue. So if we go before brushing our teeth in the morning when we get up, we use a tongue scraper to clean the mouth. That's also very good. So wash hands and mouth after eating and before entering the kitchen. Take a full shower after passing stool and before entering the kitchen. Remember that the kitchen is considered an expansion of the altar. So normally, in principle, in temples we have a deity kitchen, separate kitchen for the deities, and that's only accessible to Brahman-initiated devotees. I was for many years in Radhadesh, and I never went into the deity kitchen until the day I got second initiation. And then I learned how to cook breakfast, how to cook the Rajbhog for Radha Gopinath, 17 preparations. It's intense. That, yeah. But that's Prabhupada's standard, that we can consider that. Remember that the kitchen is considered an extension of the altar. Do not lust over boga, unoffered food stuff. No, we have to be careful when we cook and we bring the plate to the altar, which should be covered but with a clean handkerchief so that nobody sees it. Because otherwise they look at it and they want to eat it. That desire comes up. And that contaminates the offering. It's very subtle. That devotion service is about subtle things. The most important ingredient when we cook is devotion. Therefore, in the kitchen, there should always be a picture of Radharani. Before you cook, you pray to Srimati Radharani. We pray to her, you have got the benediction of Durvasa Muni, that everything you cook will taste as nectar. So please bless us that we can cook nicely for Krishna. That's how we begin. And therefore there should be a picture of Radharani in the deity kitchen, in the kitchen. So we pray to Radharani. And so in the beginning, I think it was in Los Angeles, there was a Sunday feast, and they brought the plates for the deity from the deity room to the altar, but they had to go to the temple room. and they didn't cover it. And one of the guests who came for the first time, he saw all these preparations and said, "Who is that for?" And and the devotee replied, "Oh, that's for the deities." And his next question was, "How do I become a deity?" No idea what. Anyway, but we should cover it. We should cover it. That because people have that 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 idea to conquer and eat things when we say we see nice foodstuffs is an animal propensity. We have to curb that. Yes. So do not lust over boga, unoffered foodstuff. Do not taste or smell boga, and do not eat prasadam in the kitchen. Yeah, I think that is a great offense. If boga falls on the floor and touches someone's feet, it cannot be offered. Yeah. Avoid prajalpa nonsense talk by all means while cooking. When you are cooking, then you meditate on Krishna. You can hear a bhajan, Prabhupada, or you can hear a lecture, but your focus is on cooking for Krishna. No nonsense talk. Better to listen to Prabhupada lecture or bhajan. Yeah, I say it's the same here. Cleaning the kitchen is extremely important and should be done constantly and thoroughly. So constantly you are cleaning. You use some paraphernalia, you don't need them anymore, immediately cleaning. So by that, by the end of the cooking, it's all clean. That constantly. That so avoid. Yeah, one should wash one's own eating plates outside the kitchen. Yeah, we have separate for the devotees washing facilities. If you at home, it's best to have, if you have two sinks, you do it separately for Krishna, for us. A question of organization. One should not eat out of any cookware used for cooking. No, that is a big offense. It's only for cooking for Krishna. You transfer it not from the cooking bowl to a serving bowl, from the cooking pot to a serving bowl. And you have special spoons for serving, which you are not using in the kitchen of Krishna. That's for the devotees. All food should be transferred to containers. That's what's said here. Not serving from the cooking pot, but from serving containers. And that serving how to serve devotees, that's another chapter and an art, serving devotees. Because when we serve from the containers to the plate, we should not touch the plate. If you touch the plate, you have to wash the spoon again and then continue serving. That's important. Never touch the plate. That when we serve, we have to ask the devotee, how much do you want? That don't give more. Ask what they want and give them what they want. That's important. And tell the devotees what you accept you should eat. That no throwing away. So the deities should have their own plates and no one should eat from them, of course. These are plates for the deities. Normally we use silver plates that we want to give the best of Krishna. We should give him gold plates, but we don't have so much wealth, so we use usually silver cups, silver plates, and so on. Yeah, all foods. Yeah, Their plates should be washed and dried before prasadam serving to anyone. So after the offering, you transfer it, you do the transfer to the serving containers, and you do this transfer, and you wash the plates, and then you can serve, not before. That first, yeah. So these are some of the rules. There's much more to say about it. That there. So this cooking for the deities and how to serve devotees. That when we take prasadam, it is said it's best to sit on the floor, in lotus position. That's best. That's also best for your digestion. Before we eat, we wash our hands, and it's. My Gurumats always said this, but he was always eating with his hands. He said, Prabhupada said also, eat with your hands. And then Ayurveda says that it's better for the digestion. And when we take prasadam, it's not said that we eat prasadam, we are honoring prasadam. Honoring means it's a meditation. When you take prasadam, you should meditate on how Krishna tasted the preparations. It's a meditation, and should taste very deeply. That is our enjoyment of taking prasad, a meditation on how Krishna took the prasadam. So these kitchen standards are very, very important. That it's important those who cook should follow 16, chant 16 rounds and follow the 4 regulative principles. Otherwise, there is no question of devotion. That is sometimes difficult. Sometimes everyone wants to make preparations and bring them to the temple. But they should do that when they are following 16 rounds, chanting 16 rounds and follow the regulative principles. That otherwise it's not sure Krishna will accept it. That this is because Krishna accepts the devotion. If one has little devotion, Krishna will still accept it. But when one has more devotion, it will be more spiritually surcharged. We know when Prabhupada cooked, there was a special experience with the prasadam. So the spiritual quality of the devotees of the prasadam is very important. That purity is the force, Srila Prabhupada said. That let's see what's in chapter 5. That Indradyumna Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for this wonderful class. I have few questions. Should I ask now or should I ask in the end of the class?
You can ask now.
Okay, thank you. Because there was many points which are coming and these are holding me to move forward. First point, when you said about the sitting, you said don't sit with the back to Srila Prabhupada. But in the temple, we have deities in the front and Srila Prabhupada behind. So when we sit in front of the deities, then our back is towards Srila Prabhupada. Then how should we avoid that?
Yeah, we should make a space open for Prabhupada in the middle. That's how they did it in Prabhupada's time. that and sit at the side, but not before Prabhupada. That also came up in Radhadesh, and that was in the 90s. It was a concern, and it was be brought before the GBC. That because in Radhadesh usually we were offering first at 7:15 there was the darshan of the deities. Govindam Adipurusham. That takes 5-6 minutes. And then everyone turns to the other side to the other side of the temple room, and we are all standing before Prabhupada. But we are standing at the side, not with our back to the deities. And then we have Guru Puja. Even that, because the scriptures say one should not glorify devotee in front of the deities. That's not appropriate. So that thing came before the GBC and we discussed it. Should we close the curtains and do Guru Puja or let it open? And the conclusion was that yes, it's an offense, but it's a minor offense. And Krishna will solely be pleased if he glorifies pure devotee Srila Prabhupada. So therefore, we left it like that. But better is even to close the curtains when the Guru Puja is done. But yes, when Prabhupada was there, then you can see the temple rooms. One side was Mataji, the other the Prabhus. And in the middle is a free space that Prabhupada looking at deities. They left that space open. And we have that also in our Radhadesh temple, Radha Gopinath, one side, Prabhupada at one side, and you can see everyone is at the side and they leave a space for Prabhupada to look at the deities. By that we don't sit. But if in your temple, if we are sitting with the back to Prabhupada, it must be corrected. That must be corrected, yeah. One must sit a little more at the side. That is a point of discussion. Does that help in that, Yamna?
Thank you. That's we will change the sitting arrangement.
Yeah.
We make it a little inclined so that our benches are arranged in this manner. These are on an angle.
Yeah.
We also will sit in an angle so that Srila Prabhupada sees the deities straight, and we don't give our back to Srila Prabhupada. That's a good point, Mara.
It makes us all also more Prabhupada conscious, and that's good. And okay, are there any more questions?
Yes, two more, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Prashad, I learned earlier that when we cook the bhoga, offer it, it is to be covered. But when we take the bhoga also, even then it should be immediately, it should be always be covered.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good practice.
Once it's covered, once it transferred to the other bigger vessels, then it's fine to see that. But before that, we should not be seeing the bhoga, the prasad, when it's being after when we take it out.
Yeah, it depends on the situation. Like I was using Radhadesh, I'm doing the offering. So before the offering, I take the handkerchiefs away. And after that, we bring the plates to the deity room, but we don't have to go to the temple. So we don't cover them. But if you have to go to the temple room again, it's good to cover them. See? So we have to see according to the situation. Because in Radhadesh you have the temple room and the deity room and the deity kitchen, it's connected. There's nobody will see it. when you take the plates to the, then it's okay. But if you have to take from the altar and you have to go to the temple room where the devotees are, it's best to cover it also. Yes, right.
Because we were told that many, you know, spirits are looking to dive into that prasad, so it should be covered. And once the prasad is being offered to the main vessels, only then it should be seen. That
Yeah,
was the logic.
but the temple room is a sacred space, and
Yes.
when it's purified by the chanting,
Mhm.
mostly they are not there. But if you have to go a long, if it's a long distance, cover it. It's more sure. Yes.
Thank you. Wonderful. And now, other question, Maharaj, regarding the cooking of prasadam. You mentioned that devotees should be chanting 16 rounds, those who cook
Yeah.
the prasad. We are a very new temple and we are having big struggle to have people to come to volunteer these services of prasad. They are chanting, definitely. Some are initiated now because this just started. We are very young, a temple, a group of devotees here. So is this a very strict thing to have 16 rounds for the devotees who are chanting? Because we have got teams. Some are young boys, some they're all devotees, some are matajis, grahastas. So how should we address this?
I'm repeating what Srila Prabhupada said and instructed, and which was applied when Prabhupada was there. That if we lower that standard, because sometimes we think there are different standards in deity worship, but that is an invention. It's only Pancharatka Vidhi, that's a standard. That there are no different standards, it's all the same standard. That the, num, the number of offerings and so on, it's all fixed. That, but for practical reasons, yeah, devotees at home, they cannot maintain that standard. There are standards for Gaurnitai, there are standards for Radha Krishna deities, they are different, quite different. The Gaurnitai is more merciful. But it's better, the pure we are, the better. And
Yep.
that is the message. Uh, I traveled many times with Prahlad Maharaj, 15 years, 3 months, every year, as a brahmachari, I was traveling with him. And sometimes we come to a place and they say, "Oh, Maharaj, we have cooked for them, for you." That, or this couple has cooked for you. And Prahlad Maharaj said, "Yeah, are they chanting 16 rounds and following the principles?" Well, and they said, "No, they are chanting some rounds." And Prahlad Maharaj said, "Yeah, tell them it was very nice prasad, but they would not touch it. Not at all." That, so also for cooking for sannyasis, that standard should be there. We should be concerned and have compassion for the sannyasis, that they are not falling down, that they get food which is nicely of a spiritual quality. But many times they think, oh, the sannyasi comes, that we have to feed him. But usually we don't eat much. Anyway, this purity is the force, and if we are not on this standard, we should at least try to come to that standards. That's Prabhupada standards. That they are deviating it in certain temples or centers, fine, but it's not Prabhupada standard. That's maybe our standard. That's the only thing I can comment on that.
Appreciate.
Good.
Thank you.
I think the next time we will go over these quotes of cleanliness. Cleanliness is next to godliness. But I think you have for today already a lot of information to digest, and then we can see next time to continue with the next session of the Bhakta class. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Wishing you all the best. Jai
Thank you, Maharaj.
Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada.
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada.
That,